Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Mastafran art stream. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm doing pretty nice on this Saturday art stream. It's a Saturday night, April 18th. It's a cool night. Kind of spent a lot of time. It wasn't raining today, but it was still very chilly. I think most of the rain happened yesterday. Yeah, hopefully for this stream I won't be cut off due to the power, but overall I'm likely just gonna keep this stream much shorter because it's currently 9 p.m. and I'm feeling heckin' tired, and I might as well just do the week stream just to get people to know what I've been up to. So, what have I been doing here? Oh, haven't really been doing a significant amount. I just, mostly just living my life. For those who don't know, I'm Mastafran. I'm an artist, animator, and, this stream is mostly a giant, wacky collection of various art products that I've been up to for, I'd say, the past, maybe like, for the past few years. But yeah, I mostly just use these streams to talk about my process and just do a whole bunch of just yapping. So that's kind of just what I've been up to overall. So what have I really been up to for most of this stream? Not really anything too insane. I had a heavier week at work, so that's kind of just why I haven't really had much notable news. Kind of just doing a bunch of school trip stuff. So that's kind of that's probably just what I've been doing. Yeah, working on a more private commission at the moment. Probably won't show it on stream because it's one of those things where it's like it actually wouldn't really be that interesting to stream, so I've kind of just been doing it on the down low. Yeah. Alright, so will this work? Uh-oh. But yeah, I think what I'm doing right now is kind of just working on a bunch of dithering stuff. Just getting basic dithering down. And seeing if I can't save the brush here. Alright, general grid brush. Then we got the reverse grid brush. And how I'm doing this is I'm selecting certain parts of this brush and pressing Control B, and that creates a new brush pattern here. And in here it'll create a new brush pattern in this like little menu here. And it's a little bit of finicky because they're on completely alternate shortcut keys, and where you save them can really matter. So I try my best to not like completely fumble where I do my stuff, but I'd say it's been pretty okay. Have a bunch of just good key brushes. So I have a general checker pattern dither, and then I have a nice spread dither and a dark spread dither, and then a basic line dither for stuff like that. I do want to make a horizontal dither, so you press escape, go back to the normal brush painting. So you will make a basic pattern that's just a 4x4 grid, and when you do a little brush pattern here, you make a 4x4 grid yourself. You can also do the opposite, where you do this, and you can press B, and you'll kind of have an alternate pattern with this. Can't only save a certain amount of brushes. Let's see. Nope, it can save more brushes. I guess it's just me kind of like seeing that. But yeah, I think if it detects that it's similar, that could be an issue, but who knows. But I've also done, you know, other like slightly larger brushes. I'd say I've also been kind of just going off of things like this. So this is a Aseprite 600 brushes pack that I found on itch.io, and I'll drop a link on itch for you to kind of download. It's a paid like thing, but it's hella cheap. It's like a $1 bundle pack. And what it really is, it's mostly like an Aseprite file, but it gives just a whole host of Aseprite pixel brushes. But I mainly just use these like the simpler brushes. So I'll use grid brushes, or I will use basically this. But what you're really doing is essentially you are selecting this general area. In a way, it's patterned to be seamless. So you select that area, press Ctrl B, and then go to a new layer. You're gonna essentially like make a gigantic dithering layer. And honestly, this is overall faster, arguably, but I tend to not really use dither brushes this size because I want at least to keep the control of doing a more organic dither. So I probably won't keep the bigger dither if I can. Probably like dump it. Probably like lock you, lock. Alright, but I will do other brush sizes. There are other brushes I'm like, maybe I'll like stick with this. Like this brush I probably will do more of, but it's also a alteration of this other brush here. Well, actually no, because since I'm using just that, this would just get me normal bars. But if I use the entire thing, I will get this entire pattern. I think I could probably just yeah, how does this? Yeah, I think if I just do this. I think if I just do this, I'll get a similar result, but with a smaller brush. So I just have a more controlled thing. That's kind of like where I'll tilt when it comes to making dither brushes, is that I want to at least keep things just more on the down low with that. So probably make a similar one like this. And make a figure 8 brush like this. Yeah, do stuff like that. Lock that brush. Probably need to readjust that shortcut key there. But let's see other patterns I feel like I want to, I guess, ape. I like this brick pattern. This could be a pattern that I could use as a fast, low detail brick pattern. So I could probably do something like this. Copy. Or no, not copy, but Control B. Go dithering here. That could work. Also, let me see if there's a way that I could make a grid that's more like this. Yeah, this could work. Yeah, so I'll do this. Make a smaller brick brush like this. And now I have something that's much more controllable, and I could do things like subtle shading like this. This is good. This is good. And then I just lock this. And that'll just be my ginormous set of dither brushes. And then of course, if I switch to my fill bucket tool, it can repeat that pattern. So I believe it'll also like starting on black. You start this on black, you'll also be able to just adjust this on other colors. So say you want to make a green pattern, or you do a like this pattern. That actually looks aesthetic. The blue pattern and stuff like that. You know, if you start with black, just like any other Photoshop brush, you will be able to essentially just do this with basic with basic, you know, coloring and stuff like that. So actually kind of just looking through this just to see like what's a interesting dither brush that I could work with. Of course, I'll probably like come back to this much later. Honestly, this is a solid like setup, and of course I can always just add more as I go. So I'm actually gonna lock this. But I used to have this setup completely filled up, but then when I was reinstalling Aseprite, I guess lost most of my settings, and for some reason I can't export the dither brushes right now. So that's kind of one of those sucky things about Aseprite sometimes. So what I'm going to also quickly do is go to commands, go to Alt 4, because I'm like, why the heck is it Alt 4? Live draw, play once? No, like skip you. Like, I don't know why it skipped this, or whatever. Yeah, custom brush 9, I could probably just do that for a while. Alt 7, probably could just go all the way to 6, as my half keyboard only just goes up to 6. But right now we'll kind of just work with this. So yeah, I managed to get most of my shortcut settings done, or at least in a sense of, yeah. Then I could probably like do like Alt 1, go here, Alt 2, open, Alt 3. All right, think I'm in cooking mode. So yeah, I'm in a better setup. I'm gonna save my dither practice thing. So a lot of this pixel art stuff, I'm mostly like working on some stuff here. What I've been working on, I guess, over the past month is I've been working on some black mass running animations for new cutscenes. And this is for the video game that I'm working on called Black Mass. And right now I'm mostly just working on a bunch of cutscenes to just get things rolling with that. And of course, typically, when I'm working on the iPad, which means I don't have all my things together. So I need to do some fast oh, it's locked. I need to do some fast housekeeping overall. Yeah, that's mostly just what this stream's about, just housekeeping, really. That's really just what it's about, is just I'm just housekeeping, not really doing anything significant. In fact, most of the streams are mostly just going to be you watching me, maybe like rename files and stuff like that. That's mainly just what I'm yeah, this is just a work night stream that I'm just doing. Oh yeah, my week's overall just been all right. I saw the Mario Galaxy movie, and it was kind of all right. Kind of I don't know. I don't really, I can't really say that it was like super exceptional as a movie, because it's like, oh, it's a Mario movie. Like, how bad or good can it be? But it's like one of those things where it's like, it could be better. Like, people like to give that excuse that it's a children's movie, but like, children can recognize quality, can't they? So, that kind of just doesn't hold water. So, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of that Mario movie reminds you of like, I don't know, the Wii U era of Mario, like the new Super Mario Brothers, where it's 3D Mario and 2D aspects, but they pick the most stiff and uninspiring models imaginable, and it just ends up just looking just overall just like the most boring stuff, and you tend to kind of just feel this sense of, I don't know, a lot of the movie kind of like glazes over it. Like, it feels like boom, boom, boom. Like, it goes through, it's a lot of moments, but not really a story. Like, it just throws nostalgia bait at you without substance. In fact, it hits a point where, it does the nostalgia bait stuff, and it's taking elements from every Mario game that's been made. But because it's taking elements from every Mario game that's out there, it ends up kind of just making it just look like it has no cohesion, Like, the common critique of it is it's a Mario Galaxy movie with not much Mario Galaxy. And that is indeed true. Like, other than the core premise of Mario is going to space, or honestly, Peach is going to space to rescue Rosalina, and Mario's following her. That's kind of about it when it comes to, the extent of, the Mario Galaxy stuff. Because again, it does allow nostalgia references of practically every Mario game. Like, the beginning, it references the desert level in Mario Odyssey, and then it has a early montage sequence where it references maps from like Mario 3 and stuff like that. And there's things like it has a cloud power up from like Mario Mario 3D World. And you know, it all kind of like shows up, and it also kind of like fuses with like item selection and stuff like that. So in the movie, it has the red star from Mario Galaxy, but also has the cape from Mario Galaxy. So it's like, okay, it has both the flying power-ups, but it's like they're both in separate movie contexts. So it doesn't even feel like a Chekhov's gun thing. It just feels like, you know, we're putting the things just to get you to remember. Yeah, that's not it. Whole coat. Just there to get you to remember, and you know, it fulfills the same purpose. And again, it goes back to not really putting any cohesion in the stuff with Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. Like, it should both be the red star or just the cape, because if you're putting both, it just muddies things up. And honestly, I feel like that includes Yoshi as well. Like, Yoshi isn't really much of a character in that movie. Like, he's there, and that's kind of about it. Like, honestly, it also kind of like cheapens that like little teaser moment that he has, because like when they actually find Yoshi in the movie, they ask like, oh hey, how'd you get to the Mario thing? And it kind of just does a montage where Yoshi's just in Brooklyn, and that's kind of just it. It's just played as a joke. You don't have like a sequence where it's like Yoshi is kind of looking for Mario or wants to help Mario. Just, you know, Yoshi's just having shenanigans in Brooklyn, and that's kind of just a funny haha moment, and that's about it, you know. And then, you know, they just let him in the team, and that's the beginning and end of just all of that, and it kind of just goes nowhere. So, you know, just Yoshi's here, yay, everyone, the gang's all together. And honestly, speaking of the gang, I do like the dynamics with like Luigi and Mario together. Like, that is what I was hoping for from the initial Mario movie. You know, Charlie Day and you know, Chris Pratt actually riffing, and you know, they're actually using Charlie Day's comedy chops to actually just do something, you know. Of course, you know, again, Luigi kind of just has a little focus, which I guess makes sense, but it is one of those things where, as a fan of the Mario and Luigi series, I just keep feeling a massive disappointment that Nintendo doesn't really want to explore the dynamic with them being brothers. It's kind of just like, yeah, I mean, they're brothers, but he's relegated to player 2, and that's about it. You know, he's not really flip horizontal. He's not really a person. He's just a plot. He's just a device to make a game happen. And that kind of sucks in some ways, you know, where he's kind of just there, but he doesn't really have much to do specifically. And I'd say that's probably just the big flaw of these Mario movies, is it has characters in, but they don't decide things that they should do with. Like, another big notable thing that I'll say is the big issue with that movie is it can't decide if it's Mario's story or Peach's story. So, you know, the big like plot point is, oh hey, Rosalina is princess of space. You know, most media is allergic to queens, but whatever. Rosalina is the most powerful princess of space. You know, that's her deal. And Bowser Jr. kidnaps Rosalina in order to, you know, use her powers to blow up the universe. And, you know, that's about it, really. You know, there's not really like any other like stuff to it. It's just Bowser Jr. kidnaps Rosalina to destroy the universe, and that's kind of just the beginning and end of it. Like, Rosalina really has no lines. I mean, she has lines, she interacts with the Lumas, but other than that, like, she is kind of a non-character. And I could argue that she's been a non-character even in the games. Like, even in Mario Galaxy, she's kind of just been refused to be given a character. Like, Nintendo, maybe Miyamoto, I'm not going to lay blame, just refuses to give Rosalina anything to do. So that's kind of just how that goes with that. So, you know, I'll just have to live with that. Let me, like, extend these here. How are we looking here? Nah, we'll love this for now. Okay, what was this? Oh yeah, coats. So yeah, let's go. It's you know, the big story is just, you know, Peach needs to find Rosalina and rescue her before Bowser Jr. uses her power, her vague star power, to power this mighty galaxy-destroying super cannon. And Junior's mostly just doing this to impress Bowser. Like, that's mostly just his grand plan, is to be evil for the sake of being evil. So that's kind of just the beginning and end of it all. So that's kind of just one of those things where, you know, that's just how that goes. So other stuff that I'll kind of just say, like, speaking of Bowser, like, they were trying to do this redemption arc with Bowser, where it's like, oh hey, you know, maybe we're not so evil maybe I'm not so evil after all. And obviously, you know, this is all a fleece. But I did love that dynamic where Bowser's trying to get on, you know, Mario's good side so he can actually, you know, return to being Bowser, you know, being big, because he's still affected by the mini mushroom. And so Bowser's kind of like trying to put up a good face. And it's kind of just one of those fun things. And that's a dynamic that I actually totally loved about that movie. And I wish that was the movie, is just a dumb road trip movie with Mario, Luigi, Bowser, and Yoshi. And they're just riffing on each other. Like, it makes me really want to just play Bowser's Inside Story. Like, that's the one game that I hear is a top tier Mario and Luigi movie, but I didn't play it because I think I was just totally burned by Partners in Time. Like, Partners in Time was too much of a slog that playing the rest of the DS Mario and Luigi's was like, God, I just checked out of doing those DS Mario and Luigi's. But I hear Bowser's Inside Story is a top tier Mario and Luigi game, and I wanna, and you know, it features Bowser. I'm assuming if it's stuff like that, like, I'm all on board for getting more this Mario and Luigi just interacting with Bowser and kind of just, you know, they're each just taking a piss on each other. So kind of just want to do more of that. But it's like, Bowser's arc is kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, it's kind of an anti-arc. Like, you know, you got Bowser Jr., he wants to rescue Bowser because, you know, they're father and son. Bowser has not seen Jr. in so long because kind of just threw him in boarding school and just left him to his own devices. But, you know, this kind of makes him realize that he's kind of been an asshole. And, you know, there's kind of just this little like moment of personal emotion for Bowser, where he realizes he's kind of got to decide between being a good father and redeeming himself from evil. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like, you know, that's not really a conflict that really gets him to go anywhere with it. Like, Bowser just goes back to being evil and fuck it, you know? That's kind of just how that went. You know, Bowser just, you know, back to evil because Junior told him. And that's kind of just about it. So, you know, it's another bit of, you know, Mario just being like, nothing ever happens with that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's kind of just Mario and Luigi and all that stuff. What else? Blah. Oh yeah, Fox was in the movie. This is kind of weird. Fox's inclusion in this movie was one of those things where it's like, I'm assuming this was going to be a surprise, but honestly, it really wasn't much of an anything. So, you know, each gets a Gateway Galaxy, which is I guess a space station and stuff like that. It's nothing like the actual game Gateway Galaxy. And essentially, after she like launches off of Luma, like she actually needs to find a spaceship to actually fly the rest of the way to Bowser Planet, where Junior's holding Rosalina, which is, I guess that's one of those things where it's like, I'll probably let that go because maybe the Luma's probably tired. I don't know. But it feels kind of just a little counterintuitive. But essentially, Peach is in a place where she must find a ship, or at least figure out like how to get off Gateway Planet to find Rosalina. And before this was a sequence where Peach would fight against warts and stuff like that, and it's kind of okay. It's one of those things where, you know, Peach has a big wacky I guess a fight scene and stuff like that, but it's kind of just all over the place with that. And you know, Peach, you know, gets the information out of Warp of where Rosalina is, and now she needs a ship to get there. So how does she find a ship? She hires Fox McCloud, and he basically explains who the fuck he is, essentially. Like, I'm Fox McCloud. I'm a cool space mercenary group called Star Fox, and you know, he explains the entire story of, you know, his deal. And you know, he fell into one of the alternate dimension portals, which is kind of canon with the Star Fox stuff, but it's kind of just whatever. And like, if nobody knew that Star Fox had interdimensional travel, this would just seem contrived. So if nobody knew about this, they would just be pissed. But I digress with that. Long story short, Fox is stuck in Mario universe, which is wacky because you've got like cameos of Pikmin and Metroid just right there. But I'm not gonna go nuts about that. But somehow Fox is the only one who is actually completely all out of this dimension. Like, nothing's going to explain Samus. You know, Samus is just launching off the platform. But whatever. You know, Fox is there. Peach pays him a lot of gold coins to help her get to the place, which is kind of dumb because right after she does this, Mario and Luigi finally reach her, because they've actually been behind Peach this entire time. Like, the entire like I guess kickoff of the plot is Aluma finds Peach after they're attacked by Bowser Jr. and you know, the Luma asks Peach to help her, and she goes without any of the approval of the other mushroom, without all the other toads to approve of it. She just left, and Mario and Luigi are taking care of the Mushroom Kingdom. But of course, Bowser Jr. attacks the castle because Bowser's there, and Bowser Jr. essentially like does the sequence to take them into space. So it essentially kind of like makes Peach's motivation kind of redundant. Because it's like, they were going to, like, I feel like it was a contrived reason to get Mario and Luigi. Like, they gave Peach a reason to go to space, but they were fumbling to give Mario a reason to go to space because Peach is already in space. Like, she's not kidnapped, but Mario needs to be in the movie. Like, they're fumbling to figure out how to get Mario in the movie, and of course they don't actually do that. So, you know, a lot of it is kind of just them fumbling with that. But other than that, it's like, okay, Mario and Luigi, they get to Gateway Galaxy through their own means, and they reach Peach, who is with Fox, and that conflict kind of just goes nowhere. Like, there's even like seeds of a conflict with like Mario against Fox, because, you know, it builds this thing where it's like, oh, Mario might be jealous of Fox, but no, they end up just being cool. And that kind of just goes nowhere. Like, that potential conflict kind of just goes away because the movie just refuses to add any sense of conflict, I suppose. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's a very inoffensive movie, and you know, it's kind of just one of those things where they're just doing it. So, you know, they hitch a ride on the R-Wing and they try to get to Planet Bowser. And of course, Bowser Jr. knows that they're coming, and so they fight, and Bowser Jr., like, Bowser is still fumbling with trying to stay good, so he tries to convince Jr. to not kill them. So Bowser Jr. has a super scope that turns them into babies. And I guess that's the general solution with that. I don't know. But, you know, they crash on a dinosaur planet, which is not the Star Fox dinosaur planet. It's just a random planet. And they're dinosaurs, and Mario and Luigi are babies. And they're just doing a simple Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Safari sequence with that. And, you know, they have the T-Rex from Mario Galaxy. And, you know, they just have a T-Rex fight with that, and it, you know, it's just there. You know, I barely remember it, other than they use the super scope to turn the T-Rex into a baby, and, you know, that's just there, and kind of just goes nowhere. I don't know. Okay. Kind of just fumbling with this. So what I want to do is select these as well. Like, add little outlines here. Just add a little bit to this animation. But what else could I say about it? I mean, Mario Galaxy movie, you know, they do this infiltration sequence where Mario and Peach, they infiltrate Bowser's planet. And of course, Bowser is evil again because fuck it. You know, that's literally kind of just how he went. He just said fuck it, he's evil again. And so they fight anyway. And Mario attempts to do this like sequence, like, I know there's good in you, but Bowser just says shut it and throws axes at him, and they just do the whole like Mario 1 sequence with those axes. And Mario drops him off a bridge. You know, Bowser falls in the lava, and it's kind of funny. There's this possible moment where Junior's feeling pain about Bowser falling into the lava. But then Bowser becomes Dry Bowser, and now they're kind of just evil again. And, you know, that's kind of just whatever. You know, that's just the whatever sequence. And so Bowser becomes Dry Bowser in that sense. And, you know, they continue fighting as a team with that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, also Junior is using his powers from Mario Wonder, like it's specifically from Mario Wonder, so he uses his paintbrush and covers up his bandana, and it specifically comes to life like his Mario Wonder self, and it's kind of like, yeah, it just continues to not pick a Mario game to stick with. You know, there's something to be said about, like, I guess comic accuracy, or like in this case game accuracy, but it's one of those things where it's like, because you're not really being accurate to anything, you just end up making things just feel completely directionless. So it's one of those things where I just continues to kind of just feel absolutely pointless going through that movie. So yeah, it is what it is with that. But yeah, overall, the Mario movie is kind of just a big meh to me. Like, I don't know. The Mario movie is, I mean, it's an okay, it's very just inoffensive. That's the best I can just actually say, is it's the very inoffensive movie. Like, nothing of consequence actually happens in the Mario Galaxy movie, and that's probably by design. You know, nothing actually happens, and honestly, it's kind of like a lot of other Illumination movies where nothing of consequence actually happens, so they kind of is, you know, it's just absurdly safe. So, you know, that is what it is. I don't know if he'll be able to compete with Sonic 4 or whatever, but it's like, I'm not going to go nuts about how it's gonna look. I don't know. Anywho, I guess that's my long off review of the Mario Galaxy movie. I guess you could Twitch clip this or something, I don't know, but that's probably the most notable thing that I did for the previous week. So yeah, I just I don't know, I guess I'm super indifferent to catching video game movies, really. Like, there was a trailer for the Street Fighter movie that showed up on YouTube, I think the night I saw it, and I'm like, I don't really care. It's Street Fighter. Like, I don't play the games that much. I half think about the lore, but other than that, I'm not super invested in that. So yeah, that's there. What else? Oh yeah, yeah, just wrote Sprite. Yeah, I'm kind of just rotating the Sprite just to see that'll work. I will say that the Mario Galaxy movie did actually use more Mario music instead of just making a whole bunch of needle drops. That's pretty nice. But other than that, like, didn't really use a significant amount of just, I guess, useful Mario music. Like, it doesn't really, like, none of the elements in Mario Galaxy are really there, so it's kind of just pointless for that soundtrack. So, I don't know. Okay. And probably like stick this here. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay. And I'll probably just, yeah, that's plenty. Kind of just doing this just to get the scarf looking consistent. Like, keep the scarf in one side. I think I know what I fucked up on. Damn it. You know what? I'm gonna just let that rock, because I actually want to, well, actually no. Because I'll probably just copy this fist. Just paste it over the previous fist. Copy. V, then flip. Let's flip horizontal. Come on. Alright, probably need to rework the scarf more, because it shouldn't stick out that much. Also, I need to simplify the colors so it's not sticking out so hard. Yeah, probably like rework you. Who knows? This running animation is gonna be kind of okay. It's not a complete even lip. Okay. All right. Copy that. Put this here. Why can I put the, oh, same actual color, so. Got it. Let's actually just physically draw it myself. And then just use the black lines, kind of just fill in those blanks. And just use the blast can to just fill this out. Okay. How we're looking here. Alright. Actually looking like the scarf is going on one singular side. So far it's looking great. Probably could do a whole separate thing. Like delete. 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 Oh. I know. Delete this. Okay, I think I know what I can do here. Have the tail sweep to the other side. Be here. Alright, I think I know what I can do with this. So just do a nice fast block. Okay. 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 And then we add like a, what's it, Shift O, Shift N. Yeah. Oops. Shift O. Shift M. No. Alright, what was the effects? Oh, Control Shift D, so it's supposed to be one motion. Whatever. I'm frequently never remembering the shortcuts that I specifically made so I can optimize them. Okay. Alright. And then we'll kind of just unbad dither this, or like unjag this. Like do this. this, and that'll make it look and we got this. Let's make a two-prong thing. Man, I'm just overthinking this. You're probably wondering why I'm doing like these little dark dots. And honestly, it's mostly a transition thing to get it to look like it's kind of like dissolving into the fur, you know, the lineup of the fur and stuff like that. Probably doesn't actually matter, though it kind of does. That makes the fur look like it's like falling into itself. The technique's not perfect. Like, I probably could spread these out some more. It's difficult to really like make it look more decent. Sometimes you gotta just fumbling around with like where the heck you put the dot. You kinda have to just deal with the consequences of you put a dot in a weird place, and I have to deal with that. Because otherwise you just have dots in places you don't want dots to be. Because that's how dots be, bro. Sometimes you got dots in the place that you want, sometimes you gotta put them in a place you don't want. And that's the nature of dot painting. And of course, it's also one of those things where it's like, I need to just... Sometimes you kinda have to stop fighting him and just let it go. But poor Sal. There we are. That's how we looking here. Alright, looking good. It looks like a, you know, looking like a thing. I wonder if I could do a thing where, front background. Alright, it's probably like, cool front run. Now put the overlay here. Alright, probably like call it horizon. Nah, horizon. Let's see. I like put you here. And then new layer. Speed lines. Alright. And maybe I'll just extend these stills just in case. And we're going to add a little effects called little perspective. Script. 1 point helper. One thing that kind of sucks about 1 point helper is it doesn't like indicate where the heck the point it can be. Like I have to literally guess where the fuck it'll be. See, grid line, center X, center Y. So probably be a little lower. See, nope. So yeah, I have to do some personal experiments, kind of just see where the heck it's actually supposed to be. Nope. Yeah, you know, one thing that I kind of just do a lot is I just let it be. I just let it just be like this, and then I just move and adjust as I need. And then I just use this to kind of just readjust like where it's supposed to be. Alright, so use this as perspective. And we're going to do the typical anime speed lines. Because if I can do that, that'll be rad. You'll probably just do some really just fast speed lines. Do some like overlapping speed lines here. Again, they're all to go to the horizon with this. Just put in a lot of speed lines just to give a sense of just a sense of where everything's coming. This is the most freaking anime thing, but the hope is that I'm able to do something okay. So where are the speed lines right now? Fuck it. Unlink you. And see if we can't do a thing where add slightly longer speed lines. Oops. All right, now we get rid of delete. There we are. That's what I need. It's what I need. Add a perspective. We'll just change the speed lines again. But something that is slightly closer. Look just as anime. Yeah, looking completely looking kind of nostalgic. And then see if we can extend you in the big hope and probably like hide the side dash. Probably could be like a 4-dash thing. I could, let me see if I can't look up how to animate the anime speed lines. Probably should just do that instead. I do want to like see if I can do like a limited thing. Maybe like a new thing. I just put Cole at the center. I just put a new set of speed lines. Or I could do something legit and just put speed lines even. And then it'll just look everything will look like. By doing it wrong in general. Yeah, probably call it the speed lines. Just have that kind of just merge together. Just work with that limited animation. That looks okay. Could probably like rework this to be something a little more something slightly better. But I think for now I'm just gonna let go of the stream right now. It's kind of okay. There's some I think I'd probably just need a I can't just look through this again and kind of just figure out what's looking interesting about this. You know, things are kind of like looking okay. Again, I need to look up like how the hell they actually do anime speed lines, so yeah, it is what it is with that. But yeah, it's currently 10 p.m. I'm kind of tired, and I probably just want to just let this go for now. So thank you everyone for stopping by my art stream. I've kind of just noticed that it's been constantly losing connection, so I apologize for that. But you can always see my stream archive on YouTube. And I usually kind of just have a Mastafran art stream thing. You can just check my videos on YouTube and check out my archive on YouTube as well. So if you miss out on my streams, I post that archive stuff 2 weeks ahead of me going live. So thank everyone for stopping by. I am very tired. I will try to stream next week. And perhaps I'll try to stream for a little longer. So, have a good night. And be good to everyone else. And be good to yourself. See you later.